Hello students, today we will study about the last topic of section bryophytes. The last topic, that is economic importance of bryophytes. There are the various economic importance of bryophytes we will study under the different headings as you see in this slide. One of the usage, that is the medicinal usage. The some of the common medicinal usage of bryophytes, for example, Mertensia polymorpha has been used to cure pulmonary tuberculosis and afflictions of the liver. Next, the extract of Mertensia polymorpha, Mertensia stellata, and Polytrichum communis has anti-tumor properties. Also, the decoction prepared by boiling dried sphagnum in water is used in the treatment of hemorrhage and eye diseases. Next, tea prepared from Polytrichum communis is used to dissolve the stones of kidney as well as gallbladder. A distillate of peat tar called the sphagnol is used in the treatment of skin diseases. Next, that is the antibiotic properties. Certain bryophytes possess antibiotic properties and can be used to extract a number of antibiotic substances. The antibiotic activities have been reported from various plants of bryophytes such as the sphagnum, polytrichum, timella, atricium, etc. Next, source of food. Bryophytes are not directly consumed by human beings as food, but are used in preparation of many food items. For example, sphagnum is used as an ingredient in the preparation of bread. Bryum and polytrichum constitute the chief diet of chicks in poultry. Next, pollution indicators. Dried mosses have property to absorb metals and therefore used to detect the presence of heavy metal cations in the surrounding environment. Next, soil formation. As you know, lichens are the pioneer organism that can grow on rocky rocks where no other plants can grow. The organic acids secreted by them gradually disintegrate and dissolve rocks. The rock particles together with dead matter of lichens form the soil on which mosses make their appearance and cover the substratum. Later on, mosses give the way to herb, shrub, and trees. Next, role as rock builder. Certain mosses such as bryum, hypnum, growing in association with other aquatic plants such as the chara, grows in shallow waters of lakes, ponds, streams, etc., which contain a large amount of calcium carbonate. which contain a large amount of calcium bicarbonate. These plants decompose bicarbonates into carbonates, which being insoluble, precipitate, and on exposure become hard, form calcareous rock-like deposits. These deposits continue to grow in water exceedingly over several hundred square feet. Next, bog succession. Mosses, especially the peat mosses, play an important role in bog succession from open water to climax forest. These grow on the banks of water or on other shallow bodies and extend inward and grow over the surface of water with their stem intertwined to form thick mats. Such areas are called quaking bogs, and because of humus and moisture, they provide suitable substrate for the seed germination of hydrophytic plants. Gradually, older parts of mosses die and settle to the bottom, and the water bodies slowly get converted into solid soil. Next, experimental. Mosses and liverworts have played an important role in various experimental studies. For example, mechanism of sex determination was first discovered in liverworts. Studies on heteroploid bryophytes and on polyploids are important contributions in the studies of genetics. Various experiments were made to study growth patterns in mosses. Next, that is uses as peat or uses of sphagnum and the peat. Among the bryophytes, sphagnum holds the most important place in relation to economic value. The sphagnum genus belongs to Bryopsida and commonly called peat moss or bog moss. The sphagnum plants grow as semi-aquatic or submerged on the sides of ponds, lakes, pools, or wet dripping places. They grow best in cold bogs and marshes of higher latitudes. Sphagnum grow and cover the entire water surface and convert the water reservoirs into bogs. The plants have capability to withhold water 200 times more than their own weight. The older portion of plants die but do not decay due to peculiar germicidal properties. Constantly increasing mass of dead remains accumulate year after year, and the dead remains are slowly compressed and become hardened due to weight and form a compact dark colored peat rich in carbon. The peat has much economic value. Some of the uses of peat and sphagnum plants are there. The peat is dried, cut into pieces and used as fuel. Next, peat is mixed in clay soil to keep it porous and mixed in sandy soil to improve the water holding capacity of sandy soil. It is also used as substratum for growing seeds. Next, sphagnum plants have a great absorptive power as well as antiseptic properties. Due to this property, the dried and sterilized plants are used as gauze for dressing wounds. It is commonly called moss cotton. Next, due to the great water holding capacity, the plants are used for packing nursery plants, tubers, bulbs, perishable fruits, cut flowers, etc. It is also used as a packing for grafting sessions. Many chemical products such as alcohol, ammonium sulfate, peat tar, paraffin, nitrates, brown dye, tanning materials, etc., can be obtained from the peat. Next, after careful drying and cleaning of the peat is used as mattress, mattress filler and bedding material for domestic animals. Students, today's topic of the economic importance of bryophytes is finished, and the bryophyte sections is also completed, and from the next video we will start to study the pteridophytes. In the pteridophytes we will study general characteristics of pteridophytes, classification, economic importance, one of the fossil plant, that is a rhinia, and other three plants. One is Selaginella, second Equistum, third Pteris. In addition of these topics, we will also study the stellar systems. So student, today's topic is finished, and in the next video we'll start to study pteridophytes. Thank you.